Grace and peace, family. Grace and peace. Assalamu alaikum. Shalom. My Ahotep. Namaste. Free the land, beloved. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Come on in, come on in, come on in. I'm your sister with the curly braids, Vicki Dillard, and I'm so pleased that you've joined me here on my own channel at VickiDillard.tv. Yes, you are truly watching me live living Big My Eye. Yes, I done popped up on you on the weekend. I'm surprising you today. Talk black to me, somebody. Thank you so much for joining us. I have a little bit of a ritual and I had a few minutes, so that's why I came real quick. Family, everybody on the count of three, I want everybody to be sure to hit that thumbs up button for me. Hit that thumbs up button for me and share, okay? On the count of three, are you ready? Love you, I love you back. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Hello from Philly. Hey, I see y'all coming in. On the count of three, for those of you that haven't hit that thumbs up button, would you? And share. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Share. Thank you so very much, family. That's things that you automatically should do on your own, of course. You ain't gonna find people in legacy media and people that are of the oppressive class and establishment media that's giving voice to issues that matter to us. You're not going to often find them talking about a crime bill for Black folks and reparations and calling out the powers that shouldn't be here in the United States, around the world. So it's up to us, beloved. Since we at war, we act like it. And so if we're at war, we understand that it's up to us to keep the war, the treasure box, the war treasure box funded. Your open enemy is not going to do that for you. So thank you all so much for doing that. And thank you all for sharing and letting folks know how they can support me here, because speaking for you. So family, let me get to where I'm going, family. I know a lot of times I'll be like, y'all ain't got but a few minutes, and then I end up getting in trouble later for serious appointments and things that I have to get done. So family, I'm for real, for real. We're going to do a very brief, short political drive-by. Talk black to me, somebody. So everybody come on in and hit that thumbs up button. Somebody say, yes, this is a surprise. Yes, beloved. I like to surprise you when I can and when I have the energy and the schedule. Talk black to me, somebody. I've got some other things going, by the way, in case I miss telling some of you all this later. I want to say a happy Mother's Day to all of our mothers and family. We know that there are different types of mothers. There, even if you haven't been able to have, your own babies. I'm somebody that's in my 40s that didn't end up bringing forth a physical baby, even though there's a lot of stories behind that. But I know, beloved, that I'm mothering the nations. Yes. And so we want to say thank you to all of you. There are some of you that are grandmothers that are taking care of your grandbaby still. Of course, biological mothers, folks that adopt folks that are aunties and aunties. I said uncles because we're specifically talking about our women. But we want to thank you all so very much, and of course be sure to honor them. Now I know folks going to my, that's the white man's holiday and all that. Family, just cut all that right there out. Y'all know y'all love y'all mamas, and this is a worthy holiday. And of course that's not the only day that we should honor them, but of course, it's just, please with that, okay? It's outrageous. This is your mama, blessing. This your mama. Okay, Vicki, get to where you're going quickly. Now I want to talk to you. Who's this? Yes, that's right, Cool Keezy. Shout out to our moderator, Cool Keezy, who is a conscious rapper. I'm going to be putting up one of his raps that he made called Talk Black to Me that he did. I did it on my post some time back, but we're going to be putting that up in the upcoming days or weeks. So shout out to you, my brother. He's highlighted in blue. He's going to be putting important information like the link that's currently pinned in the chat, family. Be sure to mark your calendars, family, for Sunday, next Sunday, May 19th. Sunday, May 19th, next Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern, I'm doing a free, somebody say free. I'm doing a free, powerful webinar where I'm going to be talking about things that are related to the Antichrist and Armageddon. And I'm going to show you in no limit of time, in a very intense time, how America and them folks, Netanyahu and his people, are involved in hastening Armageddon on purpose. And I'm going to tell you about that. And I'm going to explain to you what you have to do about it. And I'm going to briefly hint on some things that we're talking about today with the Black Caucus. This is a topic that I talked about before. How many of y'all remember me discussing this last year? I was on another platform on Flanubian Queen, Dr. Boyce and them platform and all that, which I have nothing to do with him right now, where I brought up some of this stuff there. And I believe I even did some talks about that here in some posts. And not enough attention, in my opinion, was garnered with this, meaning other folks, other platforms, other people, and certainly mainstream media is not talking about this like they should be. Now, I'm so glad that I was connecting the dots on this. And how many of you all, we've been bombarded with all types of narratives about what took place on October 7th, right? Israel is tripping because they're talking about Hamas, talking about that they're a terrorist organization and how they committed the worst crime against their people since the Holocaust. Family, let me tell you something. We don't disrespect anybody. You all know it's only so much I can say on these platforms. I follow the rules on these platforms. I'm going to give you the details, and I'm going to be able to speak with straight words without censorship offline. So click that link. So there's not going to be any excuse for anybody to say, well, Vicki, I can't afford to come to your $39 one. I can't afford to come to your $100 and some one. This is free. There is not a dime required to attend. So hit that link and register for next Sunday, 2 p.m. Do not miss it. The information I'm going to be sharing with you there is the stuff that they don't want you to know. And I'm going to talk about what you have to do with this new world order that's coming. Are y'all hearing me today? So click that link. Take 2 seconds, less than 30 seconds, not even a minute. William, your Cash App is blessed 1,000-fold, beloved. Less than 30 seconds it takes for you to type that in. And look, if you're not willing to do that, then you ought not to even come, baby. We're in war. And when you get somebody that's giving you the play-by-play in a digital war room, because that's what we're going to be in. Let me hit my gavel. Yes, they have their war rooms, but we got ours too. Talk black to me, somebody. This is one of the posts that I made the other day. Letting folks know. Talk to my team. I said, no, we're not going to charge not one dime for this. Not one dime. I want the family to really hear this. Let me see if I can. Yeah, turn it. Y'all see? See, this is the President of the United States. That's Secretary Blinken and stuff. That's a CIA director, funny looking self sitting over there. And some of these other people, they sitting there plotting in the war room in America on behalf of Israel. But baby, we got our war rooms too. We got our spiritual, political, and metaphysical war rooms. And you're going to be able to get some insight. Talk black to me. Cool Keisha said, I promise to register today. All right. Lisa said, I just signed up. Yes, tell your babies to sign up. Tell your aunties. Don't keep this information from other folks. If you got family and loved ones or friends that's super Christian and telling you that you still got to support people that's committing a genocide because they God's chosen people, don't tell them what they're getting into. Tell them something else that's related to a powerful VIP mastermind. Tell them to sign up. Tell them somebody's going to reveal some secrets that they want us to know. Just tell them it's going to be about Armageddon, but don't tell them which way I'm going to talk about it. Let them think I'm going to be talking about the regular smuggler interpretation that they get from John Hagee's funny looking self. Let them think I'm going to be talking about the regular rapture. Don't say nothing. You ain't got to lie nothing. Just say, look, this lady going to be talking about the Armageddon and breaking down how it's getting ready to happen. And y'all make some roast and stuff. Make them some chicken. Make them something they like to eat. Talk black to me, somebody. Lisa said, I cannot wait to get this powerful knowledge. You already know. Lisa is a day one. Lisa know how it goes. Now, Vicki, get to where you're going. Now I got 15 minutes, family. I got to stick to it. Let's get to where we're going, everybody. So be sure to click the link. The link is above. Now, enough of that. Now, for those of you who don't understand, okay, so October 7th is when the whole wide world told us that we all need to bow down because Israel was attacked by Hamas. Well, just for the record, family, it's only the United States. It's only one of the UK countries, and I think maybe one other, that considers Hamas to be a terrorist organization. The rest of the whole wide world, mostly, except for a small handful of people that mostly includes America and their Western ally, most of the rest of the entire world do not list Hamas as a terrorist organization. Now, black family, the reason why we don't jump to conclusions when America tells us who a terrorist is because they call Dr. King a terrorist. They call Malcolm X a terrorist. They call the Honorable Elijah Muhammad a terrorist. They considered our sister Ida B. Wells, who was an investigatory journalist, a Black woman who traveled the South on her dime. She ran her own business. They put 16 bullets in her home when she was gone because she was covering lynchings. They treated her like she was a terrorist and put her basically on a most wanted list in so many words. We don't jump to conclusions when America go to talking about that. Anybody that's against injustice, that's who they call, that's who they consider to be a terrorist. So for us, we don't get us involved in jumping off into all that. We know how y'all play with words. It's a war of words. And that's the reason why they don't like your sister with the curly braids, because I'm going to let you know how they playing with words. Words are spirit, and overrule is what I do over in this piece. I hold court over here and give you the goings on. I know I don't look all shiny with a 2- and 3-piece suit with 3 letters before or after my name, or I work for said individuals, organizations, and agencies. But you ought to be running to hear what I got to say about the whole wide world, because I'm the oldest, one of the oldest beings on the planet. And the people that shiny and that look official got the world going to hell in a handbasket. They're the newest people on our planet. We know how this thing works. Don't get it twisted. This is our planet. So yes, we got something to say about the way it's supposed to go. The people that's running the world and the ones that's sitting over here fooling around with America and stuff, that's over here plotting. I think I hear a rap song. And y'all, like, I don't pretend to be no hip hop expert, but I like what I like, and I be bumping what I like. I think I hear something. Wait, hold up. Is that Kendrick? They not like us. They not like Y'all know I used to say something almost exactly like that over the years. Talk like to me somebody. That's when I started talking about the campers. Remember, because y'all know we follow the rules. We can't say about them people, about them folks and stuff. The people that was out there talking about they don't like taking showers and baths and stuff. The people that we had to civilize and stuff during the Dark Ages. How many of y'all, when we was in school, they forced us to learn about the Dark Ages, but they didn't tell us that the Dark Ages was for them Anglo-Saxons and the Europeans that wasn't taking baths, and we went over there to civilize. They didn't tell us that we was over there to bring them up to speed. They not like us. They not like us. Why they acting like this? How come they don't know that it's wrong to murder? How come they don't know it's wrong to steal people? How come they don't know it's child? Y'all better stop playing and quit trying to sit here and negotiate with something they not like us. They not like us. Don't get me involved in all the conflicts and people out here talking about they need to stop, and this is man. Okay, let me leave that alone. Vicki, I'm spiritual. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna keep my opinion about what I really think about that, but I'm just saying, shout out to Kendra. They not like us. They not like us. They not like. So when you sitting there trying to act like you talking to somebody that's in their right mind, why are you wasting? You got to do a different strategy. I had my little Westie and stuff. I got 10 minutes now, y'all. I had my little Westie and stuff some years ago. I had it many years. He was a family dog. West Highland Terriers. He one of my greatest teachers. It's a family dog and stuff. I mean, I had to deal with him differently. When I needed him to obey, I had to have snacks and stuff. I had to tell him to sit. Dog, he said. Now, even though he took commands, verbal commands and all that for basic things, I mean, I didn't treat him like no full-fledged human being. Because they not like that. I'm not saying that. I'm just giving you an example about, so I didn't expect him to know how to fix the rotors if the rotors messed up in the car. I didn't expect him to parallel park for me. You understand? He was a different species, and I dealt with him accordingly. And so some of y'all sit up here trying to scratch your head and try to say we all, if you don't hush with that, we got 500 years, really thousands of years, but most especially the past 500 years to tell us something different. They not like us. That's all we finna say. They not like us. They not like us. Gotta go, fam. I gotta go. What am I talking about today? Y'all think I'm playing with this, right? Remember, the Hamas, they said the Hamas attacked them October 7th. Watch this. Watch this. Y'all know, if you've been following me since, if you've been paying any attention to me, you know I discussed this many months ago, right? I discussed this on a couple of different occasions on different platforms. Why? Why am I discussing it now? Because I'm trying to connect some dots for you. Where's Roland and your black media folks? How come they not covering this? Look at the date of this article. I said, look at the date of this article, family. Does September come before or after October? I'm trying to remember. Family. Somebody please help me understand, because I don't want people to sit up here saying Vicki's sitting up here giving us AI generated information. Somebody, does September come before or after October? Okay, wonderful class. Thank you for teaching the teacher. Somebody said it came before. Did you see the date of this article? There are many more. Y'all know I read from others. Those of you that follow me before, I read from other ones. But I specifically wanted to talk about this particular article because the way it's written. What does this headline say, family? You see it? I got 10 minutes, remember. I got to hurry up for real. It says Netanyahu welcomes Black Democratic Congress members as he angles for what? White House invite. Wait a minute. Didn't everybody tell us, including the Republicans and Democrats, didn't they tell us that Israel is our top Democratic ally in that region? Didn't they tell us that we better not say nothing against them? Didn't they just push through in the House a new anti-Semitic definition to expand protections for these people that have disproportionate power and control all over the world? I'm gonna need y'all to understand something, because y'all be sitting up here telling us what we got to do. Wait a minute, the Black Caucus. I thought the Black Caucus was supposed to represent Black people in America. The hell is Netanyahu summoning the Black Caucus? Y'all know how we keep telling y'all the Black Caucus is useless. We told them we want reparations. We told them we want a crime bill for Black folks. We told them we want a Black agenda, and we haven't seen none of them make any major, serious, substantive moves that's gonna equal tangibles for us. Somebody said, Sister Vicki, bring it out. You know, y'all know how I do. Watch this. I'm bringing this up again because we need to connect the dots with what's happened since October 7th. And it's been, what, 7 some months now? And look what's still going on. Are y'all paying attention? Are you paying attention to what they did to TikTok? Because they was mad that TikTok is letting folks, they can't control the algorithms as much as they want to. They're already controlling a lot of it, but it's not enough. They want to what? It's about two things, really 3. It's about repression, and it's about controlling you and controlling your forms of communication. They always have to have a middleman. They always have to have a filter before they give you information. Because unless you go to thinking for yourself, they have to control the way in which you think to enact any scheme they want to do. So before October 7th, I thought they said Israel is our top ally, right? In the whole wide world. We've been sending Israel billions of dollars every year, almost since their entire existence, except for maybe a few years. Israel been in existence. That place they call Israel about 75 some odd years, right? They was persecuted in Germany. They the Jewish Holocaust, the white Jewish Holocaust. Even though there was black folks that was killed during the Holocaust over there. Y'all know that, right? Y'all know it was Russians that was a ton of Russians that Hitler and them took out. Y'all know that, right? Y'all know there was other countries over there, some of the Poles and stuff that was taken out. But the only ones that we hear that went through anything during that war was them, right? But we're going to leave it alone. Vicki, this is not what this is about today. I got 9 minutes. Look. They told us we're supposed to worship and glorify Israel. But yet, I'm going to give you the receipts. Watch this. Joe Biden was refusing to even meet with Netanyahu right before October 7th. Where my intelligent black people at? William said, I'm learning, Vicki. Somebody, I thought they told us that Israel does for us what no other country on the planet does. And that's true in a sense. But I'm going to tell you during the offline webinar what that is. Because we can't tell the for real online. That's why you better hit that link to join for free. Somebody said this lady is funny as hell, quoting Kendra. Yes, baby. Some of y'all don't understand that when there are certain things that spirit allows narratives that come out, some of y'all don't understand it's actually the spirit realm that's seeding a prophetic thing. Now, somebody said to me on one of these platforms, I don't even know which one it was. Somebody said, Vicki, every time you start talking about revelations, you getting stuff, you sound crazy. Ninja, you better get your blankety blank off my channel, fool. I'm a spiritual first. I don't care if you don't like it. You better flip with your weak self. You think because you natural and logical, you ain't done nothing breakthrough for us. We're the original people. We were never religious in a way that kept us. That was never the intention of when we got our start on the planet. But baby, we going back to what's our inheritance for real in the right way. Because you don't know how that power works. You think that you get to just type something on one of my programs talking about that you sound like you woo-woo. You better get your funny looking self off my page, silly. By the way, all y'all's gifts are blessed 1,000-fold. Think you sound good. Ooh, you sound woo. You better get your. I don't care about you, useless, powerful, logical, unmatchable individuals. Get out today. Your open enemy, that's the devil for real, because he don't want you to know that it starts spiritually. And when you get that under control, you can control everything else. Even if you're outside of the establishment, you can control what's going on the outside when you learn about your power and then learn how to wield it. You better go somewhere else. This is what I do. Vicki, you got about 7 minutes now. Watch this. Y'all watch this. Thumbs up, everybody. Share. What does it say? What does it say? Netanyahu welcomes Black Democratic Congress members as he angles for a White House invite. How is it that our top Democratic ally in the whole wide world, who we send billions and billions of dollars to every year, wasn't even able to meet with the President of the United States? They weren't able to get any of some of their top white Congress people. How many of these white senators and House of Representative folks that helped push through all this pro-Israel stuff, all the folks that's out here calling anybody that's standing against the genocide and with the Palestinians and in Gaza and so forth and the West Bank and stuff? Where all them white Congress people at? Where were they at? They looked for a portal through the Black Caucus. This piece came out September 3rd, a few weeks before October 7th, right? This is not the only piece that covered it, so this is the approximate time that they were there. I need y'all to listen. Look at the picture real quick before I go to talking. These are, how many is this? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. One of them missing, but it was 10, I think, that went in total. I think it's 9 there, because Netanyahu in the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, 9 right there. Now I know they ain't got the ninja, the Negro taking the picture. God, dang, Israel, don't you have your own photographers? Now I don't know. I'm just being funny right there. But daggone, where's the 10th one at? Because it was 10 a part of that delegation. Are y'all listening? Watch this. What does the headline say again? Y'all don't miss the headline. Netanyahu welcomes Black Democratic Congress members as he angles for a White House visit. Watch this. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu met with 10 members. Yep, that's what I thought I read. Met with 10 members of the Congressional Black Caucus as he tries to improve his standing with the Biden administration among Democrats. All the white people that's coming out now that's holding all of these hearings about anti-Semitism, all these white folks that's coming out, Republicans and Democrats, that said this is our top ally, and they dogging each other to see one which can bow down and lick their boots and behind the hardest and the greatest and the sloppiest and the wettest. How come they weren't that loud a few weeks before October 7th? Who y'all think y'all dealing with? I sounded this alarm a few months ago, and enough people, not only in mainstream, but enough you folks in the alternative media ain't talking about it. Now, let me tell y'all something. I know y'all like to listen to the Joe Rogan types and the Candace Owen types and all of them alternative folks. Shout out to whatever the agenda they got going. But it's up to y'all to tag these fools and to say, how come you're not talking about the stuff that Vicki is bringing out? I've been talked about this early on during this catastrophe. They told us Israel is our most important ally, right? But why was Biden refusing to meet with them? Why was he intentionally delaying the meeting? He decided later on during the UN thing that he was going to meet with his funny looking self on the side. But how is it your best boy can't get an audience with the President of the United States? Y'all better listen. The meeting Sunday in Jerusalem, this is in September, was part of a visit sponsored in part. Y'all pay attention to these receipts because it's up to you all to check these organizations out and ask the Black Caucus, why is it they meeting with them and they're not bringing us in for hearings and they're not pushing reparations? The meeting Sunday in Jerusalem was part of a visit sponsored in part by the American Israel Education Foundation. Did you hear what I said? An affiliate of, guess who? Somebody guess who before I tell you? Some of you should already know this because some of this I already talked about months ago. Guess who that organization, guess who the American Israel Education Foundation is an affiliate of? I want to see if you can guess it before I tell you. I know y'all know. Where my intelligent Black people at? Who would you assume that the American Israel Education Foundation is an affiliate of? Somebody said Obama, ADL, ACLU, NAACP. Keep going. Who said that right? Ms. Andrea, you said it right first. APAC. You said it right first. APAC. What is APAC? That's the American Israel Public Affairs Committee, right, family? That is one of the most powerful lobbyist organizations we have in the country. It's a foreign organization that's out here, that's lobbying your government on their behalf for many, 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 many decades. Listen, it came, are y'all listening? Y'all, please listen. It came as some U.S. Democrats are keeping their distance from Netanyahu because his government's efforts to sap the power of, Israel's judiciary. All the Democrats now that's calling everybody anti-Semitic, they were the ones that intentionally boycotted meeting with Netanyahu. So many of the Democrats and even some of the Republicans were quiet about it. They were so on code with boycotting meeting with Netanyahu, they were reduced to calling on the Black ninjas in Congress. Netanyahu couldn't get an audience with Biden. He couldn't get an audience with Kamala and them. He couldn't get any real conversation with the U.S. State Department and its representatives and its spokespersons. Kareem Jean-Pierre wasn't really chit-chatting that much about why it is that they couldn't get a real audience with the President of the United States, their top ally in the region. And your Congress folks were intentionally keeping their distance from Netanyahu. I'm giving y'all this information so you can share it and you can check them and say that Vicki Dillard just talked about this. How in the hell is it that you're not anti-Semitic under your own definition when you were boycotting him? You legislators, Do y'all see that there's an agenda underway? We got way more people in here than we have thumbs up and likes and stuff. Y'all better hit that thumbs up button, please, and share. When you do that, it makes it more likely that other folks know we're here. Then I got about 5-6 minutes. Listen. Y'all listening? The delegation was led by Lucy McBath, a Georgia Democrat whose suburban Atlanta district includes a substantial Jewish population, and Representative Nikema Williams, a Georgia Democrat who co-chairs a congressional caucus on Black-Jewish relations. I'm giving y'all names for y'all to go off on their you-know-whats and ask them how come they haven't had Vicki Dillard there for a hearing, and what the hell are they twitching and twirling their hips over to the Middle East a few weeks before October 7th to meet with Netanyahu, when even the rest of the Democratic Congress people and even some Republicans were being hush-hush and keeping their distance from Netanyahu. Y'all, it's a game. And I know some of y'all going to say, well, how does this make sense? You better hit that link to join my free webinar for next Sunday when I expose Armageddon. I'm going to tell you why they playing it like this. Watch this. By the way, real quick, y'all know which one of these on here is Lucy McBath, Representative Lucy McBath? How many of y'all know who Lucy McBath is? What is Lucy McBath's history before she ran for Congress? The lady with the blonde hair right here. That's Lucy McBath. Who is she, family? Who is Lucy McBath? Somebody, where my intelligent Black people at? Who is Lucy McBath? Who is the sister, Representative Lucy McBath, before she ran for Congress? How do we know? How do we come to know this sister? Somebody said, come on, Vicki. You already know how I do, Timothy. I got to teach and connect some dots for y'all. You got to understand the theater. You got to understand how they use our energy. People out here sitting up here talking about, well, what this got to do? Why we need to go? This ain't got nothing to do. You must be out of your mind. I got to read the rest of this, but I know, but I want somebody to tell me. It's an easy answer, family. It's an easy answer. Lisa said her son was killed. Yes, who was her son? Who was her son? Let me hurry up. Jordan Davis. Okay, family, listen. What was I saying? Watch this. We gotta keep reading. Let me skip back down. Let me keep reading. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember that? Now y'all better pay attention. Y'all better pay attention. Who's in here still saying Mike Brown? No, baby, not Mike Brown. I just told you Jordan Davis, precious. I know we got a lot of deaths among our people, so there's so many names, you know, it's easy to mix them up. You understand? Watch this. Listen to the rest of the article. Listen, y'all. From the outset of the meeting, Netanyahu emphasized his commitment to bipartisan U.S. support for Israel. Quote, it's an opportunity to cement our relationship, which is always based on a bipartisan relationship between Israel and both sides of House and both sides of Senate, he said, according to text released by his office. It's very important for us, and I view this meeting as an important building block in this relationship. The Israeli Prime Minister has so far failed to secure a White House meeting with the President Joe Biden. Y'all think I'm making it up? Take a screenshot of the article. Y'all hit that thumbs up button, please. I got to go in a couple of minutes. Listen. Did y'all hear that? I thought they said this is the number one ally in the world. When October 7th happened, what happened? Did Joe Biden, with his funny looking, mentally challenged self that failed going up the stairs, that keep fumbling, bumbling, and mumbling on the mic? Watch. He flew over there immediately to stand with him, scaring us in a cringe-worthy video. Y'all know how Joe Biden liked to sniff little kids' heads and stuff. He was basically doing that to Netanyahu. the closeness. Watch this. The Israeli prime minister so far has failed. The Israeli prime minister has so far failed to secure a White House meeting with President Joe Biden. Why? Why? Who has made clear his unhappiness with Netanyahu's far-right government and plans to overhaul Israel's court system. The White House has said the two leaders will encounter each other later this month when both attend the UN General Assembly, but has studiously avoided confirming claims by Netanyahu officials that there will be a White House meeting. Fam, y'all got to stop being silly. How many of y'all know that on October 7th, how many of y'all know, first of all, that the UN is trying to investigate? Israel is out here telling people that babies was beheaded. Remember, they found out that was a lie. Joe Biden even said that they found out that was a lie. They told us that there was mass sexual assault against the women. We found out that was a lie. The New York Times even pushed that lie, right? There was no evidence of that. Then they said, oh, the UN people did an investigation and found that there was some credibility to it. The UN lady did a press conference, which I watched in relevant part. She said, hell to the no. There are 3 different levels that they have to mark off to determine whether or not they can move forward with something. She made it very clear that the same sources that the New York Times lied about was the same sources that came to the UN with it. And she made it clear that there was no substantial evidence. And guess what else the UN made clear? That Israel is blocking an investigation to find out what all went on October 7th. So Israel right now is blocking their investigators to go in to substantiate what really happened on October 7th. Y'all do know that Israel was found to have been the ones to murder its own citizens, a lot of its own citizens on October 7th. Y'all know that, right? Look it up. The reason why I started by telling you all that when we said Hamas is a terrorist organization, and the reason why most of the world don't consider Hamas to be a terrorist organization is only America and a couple of her Western allies, because Hamas is a literal political organization that happens to have a militant segment of it. You all know how in the United States, whenever they talk about the right, they call them the far right. They talk about how there's a segment of those that are in the Republican Party that's really crazy and that believe in, you know, the January 6th and all that kind of stuff and all that. They call that one section a far right. I'm not even willing to jump out there and say the other stuff they said about Hamas, because let me ask you this question. They tell us Hamas are the terrorists. But look what Israel is doing right before our face. Could Hamas be right about what the hell they say is going on? I'm just saying. In addition to the fact that they're an actual political organization that was actually voted into office. And the only reason why Hamas even exists, because they formed to resist Israel's illegal occupation. And did you all know that Netanyahu funded Hamas years ago because there was too much camaraderie when they were doing the negotiation for a 2-state solution. And so because there was not a radical enough element to justify obstructing the world moving forward with implementing a 2-state solution, Netanyahu secretly funded Hamas to make it a more radical element. Did y'all know that? The media never talks about that enough. And then they try to play it to justify why Netanyahu was giving all that money to a so-called now terrorist organization that only about 3 countries list as a terrorist organization. That's a side note. I'm not sitting up here backing any and everything that these organizations may or may not have done. I'm not saying that there were not previous divisions or impropriety. I'm just sitting up here telling you that it has been debunked that there were mass rapes. It's been debunked that Hamas did a lot of the stuff that they're saying, and the way Israel is acting in the public, in the open. How we sit up here acting like the Hamas is the devil when we sitting up here looking at the people, what they doing right before our eyes. So God knows what they was doing when the cameras weren't there. Oh, I'm getting in trouble. My assistant is telling me I gotta go. I gotta go, family. For real, for real. Let me do this part. Okay, thank you, Blessed. Real quick, watch this. Y'all listen. What did I just say? The Israeli prime minister has so far failed to secure a White House meeting with President Joe Biden, who had made clear his unhappiness with Netanyahu's far-right government and plans to overhaul Israel's court system. I got so much that I want to read in there. I'm not going to read it because I got to go. But I will show you this other thing. What was happening before October 7th, family? What was happening before October 7th? This is from March 2023, right? This is from March 2023. Y'all see this headline? Let me turn it. What does this headline say here? From the BBC. Israel judicial reform explained. What is a crisis about, right? Listen, I got to do it quickly. The crisis in Israel reaches a significant moment on Tuesday. What's happening in Israel? What was happening? Which I asked about this, right? The mainstream media wasn't covering this enough. Since the start of the year, when? 2023, right? Over a year ago. Huge weekly protests have been held by the people opposed to the government's reform plans. The scale of the protest has escalated, with tens of thousands of people packing the streets in towns and cities in the countries. Actually, no, it was hundreds of thousands every single week in Israel. Did y'all know that? Protesting almost for most of the year leading up to October 7th. Listen to what they were doing. Undeterred, this is what Netanyahu's government was doing. Undeterred, the government, which is a comfortable majority in Congress, a majority in Parliament, passed into law in July the first planned change, a so-called reasonableness bill. This removed the power of the Supreme Court and lower courts to cancel government decisions deemed extremely unreasonable. Protesters have called for all the planned reforms to be scrapped and for the Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, y'all ready, to resign. Right before October 7th, Netanyahu's own Israeli people were in the streets every single week by the hundreds of thousands, literally, for that little small country. That's how many was hitting the streets every week, demanding he resign. Not only that, now y'all see why Biden refused to meet with him? Y'all see now why even your Congress people were keeping their distance from him? Listen. They demand he resign. They are who? The Israeli public are supported by Mr. Netanyahu's political rivals. Guess who else? As well as former top officials in Israel's military, intelligence, and security services, former chief justices, and prominent legal figures and business leader, among others. Joy Reid, CNN, Fox News did not show y'all coverage every week or month of what was going on in Israel for most of 2023, when a large chunk of their population consistently protest he resigned, and top military, intelligence, people on both sides, including his rivals, were all pushing for it. Right before October 7th, he couldn't even get an audience with Biden, and he could barely get an audience with prominent politicians that's always pro-Israel. Y'all better peep through the mess. Mr. Netanyahu's opponents say that the reforms will severely undermine the country's democracy by weakening the judicial system, the only tool for keeping the government's use of its power in check. You all might be saying, why in the hell would he be wanting to do? Why would he want to do that? Why is it that if your top former military officials, if your intelligence officials, if your top rivals, and if so much of your population is coming out demanding that you don't do this, why would you do that? And why would you want to give so much power to your own Likud party, sir, and strip the powers of the Supreme Court and some of the lower courts? How many of y'all know what was going on with Netanyahu for the past several years? And what he was in trouble for was getting ready to come to a head. How many of y'all know what was going on? I talked about this, but y'all don't be listening to your sister. I said, y'all don't be listening to your sister. Y'all, I'm about to get in trouble. I got to go. But I got to show you this real quick. Y'all ready? I said, are y'all ready? I said, are y'all ready? Now, before I show you this AP headline, everybody tell me what the date of this is. This AP, what date does this say? And what does the headline say? I said, what does the headline say and what date does it show? Where my intelligent black people at? B1 Beauty says, sister is breaking it down. Y'all know that's all I know how to do. That's why they don't like me. They're going to be all right. Y'all better quit playing. Don't you ever sit there and want to listen to what mainstream media is saying and your so-called congressional people and people with PhDs and all that stuff over your sister. You must be out of your mind. I know what's going on. Y'all ready? Why was he messing with the courts like this? And why even Biden them said we got to get our hands off of this and distance ourselves? And we got to keep it quiet in the media so that folks don't know we beefing with our top ally in the Middle East. That's the reason why the media didn't go through it, because they were hoping that they would go that Netanyahu would sit his funny looking self down. What was going on? Y'all saw this say April 2023, right? Listen. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu's corruption trial has resumed. It's resumed in 2023 after several years. It ain't just one either, family. Y'all listen. Resumed after a month-long break, refocusing the spotlight on the long-serving leader's legal woes after a wave of protests over his government's plan to overhaul the country's judiciary. Y'all listen, black family. Netanyahu is charged with fraud, breach of trust, and accepting bribes in 3 different scandals involving powerful media moguls and wealthy associates. He denies wrongdoing. Critics of Netanyahu is driven to weaken the courts and change the judicial system as a way to open an escape route from his trial. Claims he dismisses as untrue. The corruption charges also, and see this from the AP, because y'all don't think this is just some little alternative stuff, because y'all love to listen to white folks stuff. See, this the media that was going on in the news that you would have to dig up in mainstream media before October 7th. The corruption charges also have been at the center of a protracted political crisis that sent Israelis to the polls 5 times in less than 4 years. Each vote, essentially a referendum on Netanyahu's fitness to rule. After losing power in 2021 to a coalition of opponents, Netanyahu returned as prime minister last year despite his legal problems. Under Israeli law, the prime minister has no obligation to step aside while on trial. Where do things stand? The trial, which began May 2020, y'all listen, has featured more than 40 prosecution witnesses, including some of Netanyahu's closest former confidants. How come all the people that's talking about anti-Semitism ain't talking about this? Ask your government, ask your officials, ask the ADL, ask APAC, tag all of them, tweet it, Facebook it, email it, write it. Don't stop talking about it. Tell them they all anti-Semitic. Because this is what was going on 5 minutes before October 7th. Y'all better quit playing with me. 40 prosecution witnesses, including some of Netanyahu's closest confidants, who turned against the premier. These aren't just some little regular buddies. These aren't people that just work on the street that hand out, what is it called? Falafel? Bread? These aren't people that they break bread with Shabbat and stuff. His top confidants that turned on him. He's involved in at least 3 different trials. Y'all listen. Witnesses' accounts have shed light not only on the 3 cases, but also reveals sensational details about Netanyahu's character and his family's reputation for living off the largesse of taxpayers and wealthy supporters. This is from the AP, family. Keep reading, Vicki. See, this before October 7th, before everybody started covering for it. One former aide and key prosecution witness called him, quote, a control freak when it came to his public image. Excuse me, family, let me clear my throat. I beg your pardon. Y'all better hit that link and register for my free mastermind where I'm going to be talking about Israel, America, and them hastening Armageddon while they're doing it on purpose. I can't tell you everything right here. I'm just telling you, I'm just giving you a little hint about where we're going and what you got to do with it. You already know you got something to do with it, Black Americans, because they sitting up here summoning the silly Black Caucus and they twitch their hips over there. Because the white Congress people distanced themselves and they couldn't get a meeting with the president. Who couldn't get a meeting? The prime minister of the whole country. Listen, one former aide and a key prosecution witness called him a control freak when it came to his public image in the media. Another witness described expensive gifts lavished at Netanyahu and his wife, including some other stuff that they talked about in this thing, right? I'm trying to show you some of the stuff that they talked about. Remember, that's just a side note from the actual 3 corruption trials, remember? So he started messing with the courts. So in the event that he's going to prison, the Likud party, like him allowing them to have power and do whatever the hell they want to by continuing the genocidal murder, which he agrees with, they're by putting power basically into their hands to where the Supreme Court and even some of the lower courts can basically overturn some of the decisions by the high court. They can continue to control everything. You're really doing something when one of the top people that was responsible for protesting is one of the top military people. Y'all know, by the way, most people in Israel have to serve in the military. Y'all know that, right? Except for the ones that say that they the real Orthodox Jew people, the people that had them things on the side of their head, they face those things. Don't try to give me the official name in Hebrew. I call them those things because the original peoples automatically lock on the side of our head. But I'm going to leave it alone right now. We got to talk about that in the webinar. The hidden reason, and we're done. I got to go. We're done. I got to go back to this article from Jewish Telegraph Agency because you can look this up yourself. There are many more. I wanted to give you this one more secret why the Black Caucus was summoned by Netanyahu. I read the part where I said the Israeli prime minister has so far failed to secure a White House meeting with President Joe Biden, right? Who has made clear his unhappiness with Netanyahu's far-right government. Now y'all see what was going on, but your country don't want to tell you that there was basically a criminal that's running the country over there that we sending billions of dollars to. So no wonder they don't have no problem murdering people in a genocide and then talking about the Holocaust to deflect and to distract us what they doing. Ninja, please watch this. Netanyahu has been dogged for years. Why? By suspicions among Democrats that favors Republicans. Black Democrats especially were furious with him in 2015 when he accepted an invitation by Republicans to speak in Congress. How many of y'all remember that? To lambast the Iran policies of President Barack Obama. So when your so-called first Black president was president, he thumped his nose at Obama. The white Republicans brought him in to address Congress without giving Obama them the proper notice and without their involvement, or whether they objected to it or not, to say, you come talk to us about Iran. Thumped his nose at him and had him address all of Congress. Y'all remember that from 2015? Watch this. AIPAC in recent months has been aggressive. AIPAC has in recent months been aggressively, that's a grammatical error because they put the word been in here twice, pushing back against claims by rival J Street. How many of y'all know what J Street is? J Street is about what? A lobbyist, a powerful DC lobbyist, a term for those that's running DC. Talk black to me, somebody. And by the way, y'all know we're going to Washington, D.C. Juneteenth to do this reparations rally. I don't know if y'all know what the power that is. Why y'all playing with us? Miss Cherie said, you will be happy you did register for free webinar. You better tell them, sis. Watch this. AIPAC in recent months has been aggressively pushing back against claims that rival J Street that is losing support among Democrats and progressives because its political action committee affiliates backed pro-Trump Republican election deniers in last election. AIPACs, y'all listen, y'all ain't ready for this. AIPACs, PACs, and PACs close to AIPAC have backed Beth, that black lady whose son was killed, Williams, and others on the delegation, including, how many of y'all remember hearing about this raccoon in the media recently? Representative Richie Torres of New York. The delegation will continue to Rwanda. Williams told the Atlanta Journal-Constitution last week that the theme of the visit was recovery from genocide, saying that the delegation would study the two countries' efforts to build common ground while developing and growing socially, culturally, and economically out of tragedy. Family, family, family. 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 They couldn't get an audience with nobody, so he summoned the Black Congressional Caucus. Do you think when the Black Congressional Caucus went over there that they confronted him about their former Israeli consul, which is a high-level governmental official that's basically an emissary for their country, who said in a private meeting that was recorded, she didn't know she was being recorded, that said years ago, before October 7th, that the problem with Israel were Black American youth? And y'all gonna sit up here and tell me this ain't none of our business when they sit up here plotting about foundational Black American youth? When they're in trouble and even no white politician want to fool with them? Publicly, they summoned the Negro Caucus. Some of y'all might say, well, why did they summon them, Vicki? If they was really distancing themselves, baby, that was all theater. I'm going to break down to you what's what. And the reason why they still rocking with them, and the problem with Hamas tearing their tail up on October 7th was about the empire, which some in the Middle East call America the big devil, the big Satan, and they call Israel the little Satan. We can't talk about all the details of that here. Y'all think the Trump trials or something? What do you say when your top confidants of Netanyahu turn on you as witnesses? When some of your top government officials turn on you, intelligence community turn on you, your rivals, of course, turn on you. This ain't no regular small thing. And the courts found enough to where you're involved in multiple corruption trials. And it was resuming in 2023. And all of a sudden, there's an issue on October 7th. And mainstream media is not telling you that there is evidence that the Israeli government and Netanyahu knew what Hamas was planning and allowed it to happen. We can't talk about that. We can't talk about that. I gotta go. We can't talk about that. You gotta hit the link above for my free webinar Sunday at 2 o'clock. Don't you miss it. I said, don't you miss it. I said, don't you miss it. Who is this perseverance chameleon? We need a Black lobby like AIPAC. Yes, exactly. That's a part of my solution that I'm talking about. How many of y'all know over the years, not just me, but other Black media members have been talking about the fact that we need our own Black intelligence agency. What we waiting for official status and permission for. Instead of the CIA, we need the BIA, Black intelligence. I showed you our evidence a long time ago. How many of y'all remember me on another platform that I helped to build some years ago? I showed some of you all footage of a small group of Black men that started to follow the police, and they started to film them and catching them in corruption. Now, the very people that they told you to be afraid of, there was a small coalition of Black men that even stayed up overnight to watch those that's watching us. Black family, do you all know that we, for our small numbers in terms of population for the United States, do you all know that we make up a disproportionate number of folks that serve in the military? That means we know what to do. God, today, I can't go there right now. If we know what to do and we know about intelligence gathering without breaking the rules, we better not break no rules now, Black family. Don't leak no information. But you mean to tell me we don't know what to do when it comes down to us in this war? Let me tell you something. Y'all do know that the reason why they were dropping bombs on some of our Black towns is not just because of our economic threat. We were building successful towns. They were concerned that we were going to go crazy, which we would have, because it was already evident. Because once we were freed from slavery, we started building Black towns all over the country. They were concerned that we was going to blow up eventually. And of course, y'all know we would have. And it was certainly looking that way. But some of you all forget. Guess who was giving them the everlasting work in the streets before your government started to up the ante on weapons? Y'all know it was former Black soldiers who were trained because we served in every war. They were defending their families. Where are my intelligent Black people at? How many of y'all know that some of them were marksmen? Don't play with it. How many of y'all know that they came to the conclusion, hell, if we're going to go across the water to fight for this devil that is America, and we come home and get lynched and still can't pee in the same toilet, they're trying to tear up our families. We're going to use these skills. They don't want us to do that. So the reason why, beloved Vicki, I'm telling all the secrets. I got to stop. I got to tell you more later. You got to register. Hit the link up there. And when it's over with, I'm going to put the link in the comment section of one of my team members. She doing some family business. I love y'all. I can't wait to see you next Sunday. Share this broadcast.